just don't copy and paste Silicon Valley. That doesn't work. Universal problems always need localized models. So you could go global, but one size shouldn't fit one. Viavii was a tech enabler in a country, a training academy in a country, and in another country, irrelevant at this stage. So you need to really focus. You can't get something and say, oh, I'm going to do it for Riyadh. There's no regulations or Jordan. So make sure you localize. If you can't have authenticity, you may need to review your problem again.
You've also collaborated with several governments, including during FIFA 2022, as far as I know.
Viavii worked with so many governments, more than customers. Like B2C was even not clear to us. I think what I did the best, and obviously I appreciate every person, FIFA, Qatar, and a lot of governments I worked with, is align with their vision. You can't go walk in and sell your dream without understanding what they're trying to build, right? There are enough Elon Musks in the world. We can't do that. Try to find how your solution could solve a problem they didn't even know existed. And I always believed with one of my great mentors who taught me to start small, prove a value.
How are you? It's such a pleasure to have you on Venture Vibe today.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for accepting our invitation. You're such an inspiration figure in Jordan's ecosystem, and we are so excited to hear more about your journey. Let's start with a quick intro. Could you tell a bit about yourself?
Sure. So Rola was based in Jordan for a long time and the Middle East. I started a few companies, but the most known would have been Viavii, which worked in travel, tourism for local and marginalized communities that are underserved today. Now I've moved to Sydney to pursue my MBA and learn more, I think, and be patient in learning.
Perfect. That's really inspiring. When you look back on your Viavii journey, actually, I have a questions for it before we start. What are the key lessons or takeaways that really stayed with you?
I think the key lessons is, for me, what I believe is culture is very important. So the people you actually hire, specifically the first people you hire, will kind of determine how your company operates for a very long time. The second thing is falling in love with your product, not the problem, is I think a founder journey mistake that happens. You just need to realize when you have to stop falling in love and actually look at data, market, customers. What are they telling you? Um, Last but not least, is scaling is very incremental. It cannot be fast. I believe those are the three things I wish, and that's what I'm learning today of how was it done in history to do well. So, yeah.
You worked a lot with women entrepreneurs also, right? Women entrepreneurs and also home-based businesses.
Yeah, I love them. So, when Viavii started, we built this amazing technology. We raised around 1 million. So, and we realized, the cones of future, not everyone's going to be digitized. We had to take a step back, and because home-based businesses, the literacy was lower, we realized that we needed to actually train them, empower them, educate them. So we worked with, thousands of businesses from Morocco to Qatar to Saudi to Jordan, and actually maybe creating an independent income for them. What they assumed was a hobby was actually a business. So serving travelers, our mansaf dish, or like just storytelling about the history where they lived. And this is the micro, obviously, impact that we've done. Macro impact comes with regulations. There are no regulations for these businesses. Still today, Airbnb, as an example, is attacked everywhere. So I think the core was, how do we support home-based businesses to become SMEs eventually? I won't say a unicorn, but maybe one day. That was the vision of Viavii, and that's why a lot of our time was spent on educating, empowering, bridging, not always using technology.
It's perfect, especially for the women empowerment.
Yes.
You've also collaborated with several governments, including during FIFA 2022, as far as I know. What would you say to startups hoping to work successfully with public institutions?
Yeah, I think Viavii worked with so many governments, more than customers. Like B2C was even not clear to us, but governments, for some reason, I think what I did the best. And obviously, I appreciate every person, FIFA, Qatar, and a lot of governments I worked with. Is my advice to founders is align with their vision. You
Mhm.
can't go walk in and sell your dream without understanding what they're trying to build, right? There are enough Elon Musks in the world. We can't do that. So aligning the vision, reading about them, what is their national strategy, what is the KPIs, try to find how your solution could solve a problem they didn't even know existed. So that was the first thing.
Mhm.
And I always believed with one of my great mentors who taught me to start small, prove a value.
Mhm.
They will always pay you a minimal amount because they pay it. They have these budgets. When you start small and de-risk their, financial budgeting and forecast, it helps way faster. Um, and of course, you need to find your champion in that organization. Someone has to believe your narrative, your vision, your story, and say, I'm going to invest. And that's what happened with Qatar in FIFA 2022. His Excellency Hassan Tawadi said, I love these founders. Putting everything aside, we're going to help 10 founders build for Qatar. It's just mixing all of them together helps. But again, do your due diligence. Please, I work with a lot of startups now that assume you cannot. There's data, there's Gen AI, there's the internet. So that is my advice.
Those are great points for founders. Thank you. What about Jordan ecosystem from your perspective? What makes Jordan such an exciting place for startups today? Maybe which sectors do you think hold the most potential for you?
Well, sure. So Jordan, let's be very honest, the core of entrepreneurship came from Jordan. You have Fadi Ghandour, Samih Tukan, the exits, you'll always find a Jordanian somehow, somewhere on that cap table. Very proud to see how we are supporting regions at this stage, relocating to Saudi, to Bahrain, to Qatar, US. We have one who just raised the Series C. I believe that the ecosystem is very mature and it's kind of small enough to actually build a strong network. And that's what Jordanians did the best. Second, I also believe the talent. We have such excellent talent in universities that we're underestimating. I know there are many programs, but deploying programs is not a solution. Investing in talent is the solution that I think the Ministry of Entrepreneurship is doing. As for segments, obviously, I think fintech is really doing good. We're still underbanked. There's still a lot of home based businesses that do not have banking systems or avoid it. But I think finding solutions like splitting payments between vendors and customers should possibly be better. Second is creative industries. A lot of fashionistas we have, our queen loves supporting them too. So you find her wearing all of these beautiful things. We have great people starting businesses in fashion and creative industries. I would like to see more of it. To
Mhm.
get more, we need to mix with international players. So yeah, I really hope we can do something there.
How about networking? Because making connections is so important for startups. There is an environment for this to provide networking sessions, networking events for startups to meet their customers.
I think they're boutique or very small funds like the EBRD, I would say, that have kind of done this before. If I'm not mistaken, our prince actually took startups to the UK on a trade mission yesterday, and I saw a post on LinkedIn. So there are a lot of trade missions that we try to do. Again, not everyone benefits from them. I'll be honest. It has to be depending on what stage you are. You're reflecting on our government and His Majesty. So it depends on that. But
Mhm.
listen, Jordanians love networking. Call us for coffee. You called me. I'm on a call with you. We love networking. So you don't need an organization to let founders do that. We have great locations and spaces, coffee shops, and we always have a good story to tell. So we're okay.
Perfect. And finally, Rola, that's one piece of advice you give to founders who want to go globally.
Yeah, this one, universal problems always need localized models. So you could go global, but one size shouldn't fit one. Viavii was a tech enabler in a country, a training academy in a country, and in another country, irrelevant at this stage. So you need to really focus. Just don't copy and paste Silicon Valley. That doesn't work. You can't get something and say, oh, I'm going to do it for Riyadh. There's no regulations, or Jordan. So make sure you localize. If you can't have authenticity, you may need to review your problem again.
Yeah, yeah, true. Makes sense. Thank you so much, Rola. This was such a
Anytime.
thoughtful and inspiring conversation, and hope to see you soon again.
No worries. Thank you and good luck. Take care.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.